What's up guys, my name is Khuz. Today we're going to talk about all the different versions of my song Lullaby. People talk about the process of making a song, but they don't show you the actual versions of the song that it takes. When I make a song, it goes through like 10, maybe 12, at the very most like 15 different versions. Sometimes I can make a song in like 3 or 4 versions and it's like, I'm like, okay, this is it. I have all the versions pulled up here for my song. So let's go through it. So this is the first version of Lullaby. I'll give you a play-by-play of sort of what I was thinking.
You know what you're doing, baby, so do I. I'm trying to count the sheep, you eat them up alive. But you're in my dreams, I think I'll sleep another night. When I can hear your voice singing the lullabies. As soon as I stop calling, girl, you never called when I was on a sleigh ride home. Forget another day, night, and all of the space times. Hope you never take this wrong. You know what you're doing, baby.
Very different to what y'all are used to and what y'all have seen. Usually demo ones are very rough like this. I don't really have much vision as to where they're gonna go. Most of the times what happens is I wake up or I go to the bathroom or I'm in the shower or something like that. Or I'm driving home and I think of like a cool thing that could be a hook or a chorus or something like that to a song. So this is basically what that was. I thought of something on the spot and I just this stuff doesn't even make sense. Hear this. So what I did was I was just trying to fill in the space there so that when I listen to these songs like hundreds of times before I actually release it. So I tried to fill in the space to imagine what it could feel like, all fleshed out. And obviously this wasn't the direction I ended up going for. But let's go take a look at demo number 2 to see the differences. So let's take a look.
You know what you're doing, baby, so do I. I'm trying to count the sheep, you eat them up alive. But you're in my dreams, I think I'll sleep another night. When I can hear your voice singing the lullaby.
Okay, so I think when I was recording this, I was sick. So I was desperately trying to get the right performance for the song down, but it just wasn't working. So you can see in my voice I do sound frustrated. I can hear it now that I'm thinking back at it and looking back at it. I was really frustrated as to why it wasn't sounding like how I wanted to in my head. But yeah, let's carry on.
I was on a sleigh ride home.
Okay, one thing that bugs me is I had late rides home for a lot of this track. It was late rides home, but then I changed it obviously. But that just bugs me. I listened to this again. I'm like, why did I even write that down in the first place?
If I'm trying to ruin everything tonight, I think you know who I find. Self-control is getting harder every time you cross my mind. Back and forth straight from the Bay, New York City to...
Okay, so let me tell you a little fun fact about that. When I said, if I'm trying to ruin everything tonight, that was after about 3 hours of me trying to figure out what was going to be in that space. And when I was about to close up Logic, I said something along the lines of like, I'm gonna ruin everything tonight, da 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 da. I said something like that and it clicked. I was like, wait, this is the flow. I have to go on with it.
But it feels like that I'm running away.
And then this, I still didn't know what this part of the song was. So but then I knew to bring it back. All right, let's take a look at demo 3. I think I re-recorded a bunch of the vocals. Maybe not.
I'm trying to count the sheep, you eat them up alive. And girl, you never called when I was on those long rides home.
That's really funny because I changed it to Long Rides Home, but in the ad-libs you can still hear It says late rides home still.
Forget another day, night feels like that I'm running away. Like water straight from the tap, I'm wishing for the fountains. I swear they wanted it to work, but then we drowned in. Nothing was ever the same. Now that when I see your face, I know that you know what you're doing. It's what you've always did. You know what you're doing, babe.
All right, unreleased snippet there. As you can see, the song does not fit together. Like at this point in my head, I was still throwing ideas at the wall. I didn't solidify it, but somewhere in between this, so Lullaby 3 and Lullaby 4, I locked in, where I was like, okay, I have to figure out a solid concrete part of the song, because it was very all over the place. It just didn't feel like one song. It felt like multiple songs that I was trying to put into one. But I think demo 4, I really lock it in. So let's take a look.
You know what you're doing, baby.
Instantly re-recorded the intro. That now it sounds so much cleaner.
Hope you never take this wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
Trying to ruin everything tonight. I think you know who I'll find.
So instantly, I can tell much more confidence in this performance. Right. Everything seems like it's part of the same song so far.
I'm trying to sleep, but you're keeping me up at night.
There you go.
I forgot how you sound, but you're echoing around. A part of me will sell my dreams. A part of me will sell my dreams 100 times.
Yeah.
Just to hear your voice singing. You know what you're doing, baby.
So where I pause it, like, or me would sell my dreams 100 times.
Just to hear your voice singing. You know what you're doing, baby.
So when I listened to that part, I was like, okay, this song sounds perfect. It sounds good. But as I was listening to it more and more, I was like, wait, I just don't like how that sounds. Like, you know, those little loose ends, like only like the stuff that you only like you can hear once you make it, once you've listened to it hundreds of times over. You're like, I wish I didn't cut it that soon, or I wish I said this differently, or I wish, you know, you can hear something in the background. I wish that was totally gone. That's the type of stuff I fixed in version 5 here.
When I can hear your voice singing a lullaby, as soon as I stop calling, girl, you
Instantly, I can tell I added like 3 more vocal tracks just to make it sound as smooth as possible. I re-recorded some of it too, because it was a bit shaky in some parts. When you're making a song, like especially for me, there comes a point where you add too much. So I was trying to avoid that at all costs. I didn't want to add way too much stuff where it was like, okay, now it's like it sounds like a bunch of, you know, just clips jumbled together. So finding that balancing point, especially for this song, was probably the hardest part. I was like trying to figure out how much is too much and how much is too little. You know what I mean? Like that nice balancing act in between. I added like some more things that are a bit more subtle. For example, like backing tracks and just like stuff that you can barely hear in the final version. So let's take a look at that. I made it a little bit quieter as well. I didn't want it to be as loud. It is a lullaby, obviously, so
you know what you're doing, baby, so do I.
yeah.
I'm trying to count the sheep, you eat 'em up alive.
Yeah.
But you're in my dreams, I think I'll sleep in
So
all the
good.
night.
So good.
When I can hear your voice singing a lullaby, as soon as I stop calling, girl, you never call.
And that's how you get the final version. You tie up all those loose ends. You listen to it like at least 100 times, maybe even like 200, 300 times. You figure out all the things that are like, I wish that could be better. I had the song in front of me. I was like, all right, perfect. This is exactly what I have to do. It just takes a little bit more extra time, but then you get your final product. All right, so those are all the 5 different versions of Lullaby. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for listening. If you streamed Lullaby, thank you so much. Hopefully this was a cool insight as to how I make my music and all the different changes I make in between them. I thought it would be a cool concept to make it into a YouTube video. If y'all want to see more, comment down below, leave a like, and tell me what else I should do. All right, peace out.